right, so I'm Scott,
And I'm Scott.
and we're here to talk about all things spiritual.
Religious.
Certainly.
I'm sure we'll touch on politics.
Yeah, probably.
Unwillingly.
Yeah. Probably.
So, in other words, a whole lot of something.
And a whole bunch of nothing.
Sounds like our typical conversations.
Yeah, pretty much. All right, so background on me. Really, I guess my first introduction to anything beyond a traditional religion was probably right around 20. I was just shy of 21 when my daughter was born. Her mom developed an infection after a C-section. There was a guy that my in-laws had a meditation group with, and he was there doing some healing work with Dee. And I had been in the ER for a knee injury again. And I made a comment, if you're so good at healing things, then why don't you fix my knee?
The dark cloud comes rolling over.
And he did. He turned around and he walked out the door. Just that quick. I mean, it was instant. There was no hesitation. He just turned around and walked.
Hard to do healing with negative energy in the room.
Oh, and my negative energy would have been all over the place. Because I didn't buy into any of that at that point. But over the next few years, I did.
I didn't get that. Could you try again?
Yeah, Siri. So over the next few years, I started getting involved with that meditation group. And I learned a lot. And I became more open to everything. I don't know, and I don't claim to know everything about anything. And I want to learn. So that's my journey is learning.
Yeah, but you and I learn something new every day.
Yeah.
You know, from astrology and tarot cards and crystals and rune stones and Taoism and Buddhism. I mean, the
list goes on.
What do they say? The world is our oyster.
Yeah. And I'm big on, I say it all the time, I learn every day. The day that I stop learning, they're going to put me in the ground.
Yep.
And that's, my brain wants to absorb new information. Oh, what was that movie forever ago? Short Circuit. Input. Need input. And so, yeah, and my beliefs today are a mixed mash of everything from Christianity to Native American beliefs, certainly to crystal work and shamanism and
of course aliens.
Of course.
We can't leave out ancient aliens here.
Nope. Somebody had to build the pyramids.
Shout out to them.
Yeah. And, so it's my hope that we'll have these conversations. We'll bring in other people that know more than us about whatever the topic is.
That should be easy to find.
Right. And hopefully we'll learn some things. My hope is that we'll have people from all different religious beliefs, all different spiritualists, whether it's tarot readers or mediums or healers, whatever it is, we'll explore that. we know it'll be enjoyable for us, and it will help us expand our minds. Hopefully, it will for whoever's crazy enough to actually watch this. Uh,
Well, myself, I grew up in the Episcopal Church, Church of England.
mm-hmm.
So it's basically a spin-off sharing all the same books with the Catholics, only Henry let us get divorced.
Yep.
And then in my young adulthood, I lean more towards the teachings of Martin Luther and the Lutheran Church.
Okay.
And if I went to church today, that's the religion I would follow, or the church I would go to would be the Lutheran Church. Mm-hmm. My experience, I had an out-of-body experience when I was 10 years old. I had a fever, 104, 106 degree. I used to get hellacious fevers. My mom always threw me in a cold bath or a ice water bath to get my fever down. And I had a out-of-body experience. It scared me.
Mm-hmm.
It was very scary. I used to have reoccurring dreams a lot. And in my adulthood now, I understand, or I believe, that those were past spirits trying to communicate with me.
Mm-hmm.
I've got memories going back to the high chair. I have vivid memories of probably 3 years old and on.
Which is kind of crazy.
It's, yeah. I was introduced to personality typing in 1987 or 88. So
when I graduated.
Yeah. Yeah, when you got out of the clink,
yeah,
graduated school. So I've always been interested in personality typing. I am zodiac. I'm a Pisces. Mm-hmm. I've always been interested in learning more about astrology. I was very intuitive at a young age. At 10 years old, basically, I was 100. And, as far as advice and recommendations and talking to people, never grew up emotionally. My emotional intelligence is nil.
Yeah.
Hey, there
Welcome
it is.
to the club.
So I have dabbled with tarot cards and mediumship and the rune stones and the crystals and healing, but my main takes and the reasons I want to sit down and do this is I see so many comments on Facebook and the social networks that people are saying that people that are spiritual don't have a belief in God.
Which couldn't be further from the truth.
So don't disrespect my Christianity and my belief in God.
Mm-hmm.
And a spiritualist understands and knows that everything is energy.
Yes.
The earth is vibrating at an energy. Mm-hmm. This entire universe is vibrating at a frequency and energies.
Yeah. Energy cannot be created or destroyed. It just changes.
So most spiritualists from a Christian point of view would recognize God within themselves as the energy and the Holy Spirit.
Mm-hmm. Certainly.
I've seen people, I mentioned to you about the post on Facebook. Mm-hmm. Somebody saying, why are you condemning or against wokeness? It's just another form of the golden rule.
Yeah.
And I had to die laughing at that. Shoving your opinion down my throat is not the golden rule.
No, not at all.
Do unto others as you'd have them do unto you.
Exactly. And a friend of ours, Teresa, always used to say, just do the next right thing. Whatever that is.
Make a good and right decision.
Yeah. And I think that anybody that is spiritual in any way, that's kind of at the core of the beliefs.
Well, let's understand a good and right decision. Now, let's spell that out. A good, right decision is a decision that does not hurt me.
Mm-hmm.
It does not hurt you,
Mm-hmm.
and it has no a negative impact on anybody else.
Right.
And if that decision falls in that category, then it's a good decision.
Yes.
It's the right thing to do.
Exactly. Exactly. One of the things that I say a lot is, it's kind of my mantra, is I'm at peace with myself, the world, and everyone in it.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not here to judge anybody's belief structure. I think we all follow our own path. And whatever that path is, that's what we got to do. And my path is to learn, to gain knowledge, to become more in touch with the world, I guess, the nature, not the stuff that we make, but the stuff that some other higher power made. All that energy. And you look at shamanism, which is a particular interest to me.
Yes.
And the ability to sit down and have a conversation with the tree.
Yeah.
And you think how long that tree's been there? You think it doesn't have stories to tell?
Let's talk about a few people. Let's just mention a few people right now that got their downloads and information from the universe.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, Nikola Tesla.
Absolutely.
Okay, Einstein.
Yeah.
Okay, Carl Jung.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, the personality typing is an amazing tool for me to have a keener understanding of myself and a better understanding of you.
Right.
So you're in INTJ,
mm-hmm.
which is a introverted, intuitive, thinking, judging.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so you're very detail oriented.
Yeah.
You're very analytical. I am
Yeah.
an INFJ, which is intuitive, introverted, intuitive, feeling and judging. So I'm very emotional. I'm very expressive. I'm talking with my hands and you're over here just all chilled out.
Yep.
So, but we're peas of a pod.
Right.
We're both introverts. We're both intuitive, and we feed off of each other, which is why we've chosen to do this podcast together.
Exactly.
So,
yeah, maybe we both learn a few things.
oh, hopefully, well, as you said, any day I'm not learning something new is crazy. Ignorance. You pointed on learning something, and I view a lot of those comments as ignorant. And when I think of the word ignorance, I think of lack of education.
Absolutely.
Okay, so I'm ignorant on Islam.
Right.
Okay, I've not studied a whole lot about Islam.
Mm-hmm.
Okay,
neither have I.
Of course, I come from a Judeo-Christian background, so
mm-hmm.
I've got knowledge there. I've done great studies into Buddha.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, which is a way of life, not a religion, kids. It's a way of life.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, and I've got a keen understanding of the teachings of Buddha. I've looked into Taoism.
Mm-hmm.
I've got a lot of respect and a keen understanding for yin and yang and how it applies in our life.
Oh, absolutely.
And then with the astrology falling into place, of course, being a Pisces, I'm the 12th sign of the zodiac.
Mm-hmm.
Which is a incorporation of all of those before me. So Pisces are known as extremely intuitive, extremely sensitive, extremely emotional. Add an INFJ on top of that, you got a water basket case.
Yeah.
I don't remember the conversation we were having outside of the fact that I was a Pisces.
I guess I really don't either.
But we were talking about you being a Virgo on the Libra cusp.
Right.
So we need to do more research into that, and I'll show you a computer program that we can delve deeper into that and give you a keener understanding, because it's really the placement of the planets at the time and place of your birth.
Okay.
So it's very, very specific. That's why, so many people look at, well, I'm a Pisces, who's my best relationship? Well, it's not going to work that way.
Okay. Yeah.
Okay. Because there's too many things at play. Your sun sign, your moon sign, your rising sign, where Venus, the planet of love, falls in your chart, and the newspaper just takes your sun sign and rolls with it.
You're right.
So
Yeah, and I mean, of course, my experience with astrology or horoscopes or any of that is exactly what you said, what you see in the newspaper, or now, I guess, on social media. I don't know anybody that actually reads a newspaper anymore.
exactly.
But I remember growing up in those Sunday comics.
Yes, sir. I was going to say they want couple bucks for that 5-page Temple Tribune.
Yeah.
So,
Exactly. And
well, we both dabbled with rune stones
yes, that was my first oracle.
and looked into the Elder Futhark.
Mm-hmm.
And we've both dabbled with crystals
Yep.
and pendulums
Mm-hmm.
as far as healing, meditation,
Absolutely.
and divine knowledge,
Mm-hmm.
answers. I've dabbled a lot in tarot cards
Mm-hmm.
and doing readings. Here again, I have a lot of knowledge in a lot of areas. It's come on, what is it?
Jack of all trades
And the master of none.
is still always better than a master of one.
Exactly.
Yep.
So I cannot do these things just on my own intuitively.
Right.
I have to use an educational resource to give me a foundation. So
Right.
I'll utilize the book and read the book's interpretation of what the card is.
Mm-hmm.
And then once I understand the interpretation of the card or cards in a series, then I will form my own intuitive opinion
Right.
to come to a conclusion of how it applies.
Yeah. And I mean, it's hard when you look at a tarot deck. It's what, 78 cards in a full tarot deck. That's a lot of cards to just know for an old guy like me.
I'm of an age where I suffer from CRS.
Yeah, well, there you go.
So
There you go. And I've never been able to really connect to a tarot deck.
mhm.
Runes were my first foray into that world. Now I have a two decks that I use, but one primarily that's an Angels and Ancestors deck,
Mhm.
and the other one is a Voices of the Soul deck,
You-
but it's significantly less cards.
And you had mentioned on our break that we took about guardian angels. And
Yes.
everybody have a guardian angel.
And guardian angels. Yeah, you can go in so
Oh,
deep
so-
into the
so
weeds
deep.
with that, but
I've told you my stories.
Yeah,
And,
it's-
about getting into a car and being told I'm going to get a ticket or get
Yeah.
in an accident, and having a voice inside my head tell me that.
Yep.
And then lo and behold, I ignore it. I don't follow the intuition or the voice. I jump in my car and lo and behold,
That happens.
and lo and behold, it happens.
yeah, and
I
that's a
have-
guardian angel.
Right. I have no doubt
Mm-hmm.
that is a guardian angel watching over my shoulder, watching over me.
Yeah, and we all have them, and in a lot of cases, there's multiple. It's not just one. You could have 2 or 3 or 4 guardian angels in different aspects of your life.
Exactly.
And I believe, based on what I've studied, which is not, I'm no great authority on guardian angels, but if you get into believing in past lives, which I do, I think our guardian angels follow us from life to life.
Okay.
And the souls that we interact with here on earth tend to be the same people throughout our lives. We may have had different roles. My mother-in-law, Rusty, everybody thought that at some point in a past life we were either married or siblings because we do this.
Yeah.
You know, and but I mean,
Well, you know, the internet, everybody wants to use keywords and buzzwords. I mean, the new one is this river, this atmospheric river coming in.
yeah,
You know, it's funny that they have on record that much rain in 1860, but now it's this rare phenomenon due to climate change and an atmospheric record. You know, okay, I get it.
yeah.
I've derailed my train again.
Yeah. Welcome to my world.
Exactly.
Holy cow.
Oh, that's what I was going to say. So one of those examples is soulmates.
Yes.
Everybody's on this buzz about soulmate. Oh, he must be my soulmate, this burning desire. I like to look at it as soul tribes.
Yes.
You are obviously part of my soul tribe. We have probably known each other through multiple lives.
Oh, I absolutely believe that.
You know, I mean, our interaction and everything else, our energies and feeding off one another are just spot on.
Yeah.
And I've met many people that I felt a immediate connection to, and that doesn't have to be physical, sexual, romantic, or anything.
It's a connection
like
of energies.
Right. It's a connection of energy, and these people belong in your life.
Yes.
These people are connected to you.
Yes.
And that is a soul tribe. And they could have been a spouse, a child, an aunt, uncle.
Yeah, any role.
Any role in your life, boyfriend, girlfriend, whatever the case was.
Yeah.
But you're connected and you recognize others through spirit and energy.
Yes, absolutely. And that's, well, you talk about soulmates. Dee, my daughter's mom, was certainly my soulmate. She was my true love. She died in 2009. Does that mean that for the rest of my life, that can't exist again?
I'm not thinking so.
I don't believe that. I believe you can have more than one soulmate or more than one true love.
Yeah.
She was there at a point in my life where I needed her. She died. I had a lot of lessons that I needed to learn. And that would not have happened if she were still alive.
Well, you and I both have admitted that we've carried a lot of dark energy, a lot of anger and hatred
absolutely,
in our lives.
Yes.
And it's taken a lot of education and a lot of not so great experiences to help open our hearts and open us up.
Yes. And that's the thing. My daughter and I talk about it often. If I could change something, if I could make it so Dee had not died in 2009, would I do it today? No, because her death taught me so many things and made me the person I am today.
Exactly.
And I kind of like the person I am today.
And her death is not her death.
No, she's still here. I still talk to her every day.
Yeah, it's on so many levels. It can be her new beginning.
Yeah. Yeah. She just changed forms.
Yeah,
She's in another room.
The meat sack died.
Yep.
You know, that's the nasty thing about cancer and all this other stuff is
Yes.
it will destroy this meat sack, this bag of bones that we carry. But
And that's, I guess for me, that's something that I guess I don't really understand why people put such focus on this as opposed to the energy that's making this. And we talked a little bit yesterday about energy and about mass.
mm-hmm.
And mass is just energy vibrating at a certain frequency.
Yes.
A good example of that, these singers that can hit a certain key and shatter crystal.
Glass, yeah.
That's a good example of being able to manipulate that energy.
Yes.
So yeah, Dee's body died. There were lessons to be learned.
Oh, speaking of energy and what you're talking about, you know, Reiki.
Yeah,
Reiki is energy healing.
absolutely.
And it is, you go into different cultures and stuff. I can't remember what the word in Japan is for it, but all these different cultures have a energy healing, and it's drawing from universal energy.
Yes.
And we had the conversation, have you manifested anything?
Mm-hmm.
That is putting a thought out to the universe and receiving an answer.
Yeah.
You know, no different than Nikola Tesla.
No.
You know, receiving his downloads on electronics and everything that he did. But I mean, it's just amazing that when we get to talking about energies and its presence, and that's God. That's God within us. That's we are within God.
Yeah.
At that point, this entire universe.
Well, and I think, and I'm sure we've talked about this. We all have access to that collective data
Exactly.
that's out there. It's just a question of being open enough to access it.
We have to recognize we are soul, recognize we are energy, and quiet the mind. The mind belongs to the body.
Yeah. Well, and that touches on something I've said many, many, many times. And that's the difference between meditation and prayer. Prayer is when you talk to God.
Mm-hmm.
Meditation is when you shut up and listen.
Yeah. Well, and there are, you know, the rosary, the Catholic faith, the rosary. The rosary is a form of meditation.
Certainly.
You know, it's not necessarily shutting up, because people have mantras and chants. And
sure. But that's not a conscious thing. Their conscious brain is getting their download.
Exactly.
Exactly. The same thing like with my singing bowl.
Yeah.
Because that's a meditation thing.
Exactly.
And has that nice earth tone. And that's and I have like this. I've had this thing for, I don't know, probably 25 years.
Oh, wow.
That's an earth tone.
Yeah.
That helps kind of connect to that vibration. And this thing is on my desk and has been since the day I bought it.
Well, the earth resonates with vibration.
Mm-hmm.
Dogs notoriously can pick up on potential earthquakes and whatnot. It resonates at a vibration that our human hearing cannot pick up.
Exactly.
And I'm trying to think of the YouTube videos that I would share with you on different frequencies for healing, for meditation, and everything. And it's the knowledge today with the internet is phenomenal.
Oh, wow. Is it
I
ever?
mean, it is at our fingertips.
Yeah. If you can't learn something about whatever topic, it's because you don't want to.
Exactly. I look at so many posts on Facebook today where people are asking questions, and it's like, haven't you ever heard of Google?
Yeah.
I mean,
Yep.
they say do stupid thing, get stupid awards. I mean,
Yeah.
at what point do we actually use our mind and research it rather than allowing somebody else to feed us the information?
Yeah. And that's, but we are logical, knowledge-based personalities, and we want to learn. And there's so many people out there that are just satisfied with where they are, and they're not willing to look beyond that for something, not something different, but something that can go along with who you are.
Well, most of those people I've met know a lot more than I will ever know.
Yeah. At least if you ask them.
Absolutely. And they'll agree with me when they hear their thought coming out of my mouth.
Yes. And it's, yeah. For people that are just satisfied with where they are, what's the point?
So going from here, I think we are going to look into various topics, and this is a broad overview of exactly what we're talking about.
Yes.
We're going to touch on all kinds of subjects, and we want other people to participate with us, giving us their knowledge and experience, because ours is limited.
Certainly.
And face it, I could read an article today to discuss tomorrow, and I'm going to forget more than I'm going to remember.
Absolutely.
I mean, it's amazing how many times we sit here and just stumble over our words because the train gets derailed. And I guess, that's a privilege that comes with age.
Right, exactly.
But, the topics are endless, whether it is, divination. Okay. Whether it is healing, reiki. Whether it is mind experiments, blind seeing colors,
right,
moving things with your mind. There are so many different topics, and we are so unlimited with our brain's capacity and potential if we tap into the energy of the universe.
Exactly.
And we tap into God.
My goal / plan is to tap into that energy that is the internet and find people smarter than us for us to talk to about these things. Or smarter than us in a given area.
Or have a different spin.
Yes. Yes, absolutely. And that's something that I really want in this. I don't want to ever give the impression that this is the only way, whatever that is, whatever we're talking about.
And that's what we were talking about outside. We were talking about a religious perspective, a person from a specific church, in my case, a Lutheran church, saying, well, if you don't believe in God my way, according to my book and according to this and that,
then off to hell you go.
Off to hell you go, and you don't believe in God.
Yeah.
And they're putting that shadow, that blanket over spirituality.
Yes. And there's so many people say that spirituality and religion go hand in hand, and they can coexist. And certainly spirituality is the foundation of every religion, but religion will only allow spirituality so long as it follows
exists on
their
my
divine
terms.
text.
Yeah.
You know,
It works on my terms.
yes, and that's not even close to accurate.
So here again, the teachings of the Bible, the teachings of Christ, are all about how we interact, how we behave, care of others, and our interaction with the divine.
Mm-hmm.
And the religion that became Christianity and all of its different umbrellas
Mm-hmm.
is based on some guy's philosophy on what that meant to him,
Yes,
and turned into humanity's point of view of religion.
right.
You know, otherwise, so even somebody that's practicing paganism or Wicca or whatever you
Yes.
want to look at, they have a belief in a higher power,
Absolutely.
and they are following a mantra which works for them.
Yes.
So therefore, they deserve our respect.
Exactly.
They're trying to improve. They're trying to be better. They're following God's free will.
Yep.
And
And they're expressing themselves in a way that
it's different.